Sex education in Mexico, it's patriarchal. Since I was little, society, school, and family made me believe that the control of my body was theirs, not mine. One of its pillars is the control of women's sexuality. I came to this realization early in my life. When I was around 15 years old, my stepfather saw me going down the stairs and he said, if you don't change your dress, you won't go. It's too short. Mom didn't say anything. No matter where I go in the world, I take these teachings with me. When I am 20 years old, I study a semester abroad in Japan. Like most Friday nights, me and my good friend Norman here from Germany are drinking sake in the train. We are on our way to downtown Tokyo, the neon-crowded city, which nowadays is gray and cold as the winter approaches. Drinking in the streets is legal there. I feel safe because I am with Norman, who's always keen to take a walk around the city. At the very least, I feel safer than in Mexico, where I need to rush before the sun goes down or pretend that I'm talking on the phone if I notice a man walking behind me. I love my country, but sometimes living in Mexico feels like giving up a part of my freedom. As we are arriving at our station, I see a handsome Japanese man staring at me. Norman and I hop off the train. The man gets off in the same station. Norman goes to use the bathroom. The man approaches me while I'm alone waiting. He speaks English perfectly. We talk for a little bit. Norman returns and invites the man to come with us to the experimental electronic event we are heading to. The man accepts, and we all start walking together. Norman and I are already slightly drunk from the sake. As we enter, they hand us tequila shots at the door. I'm Mexican, sure I'm drinking it. I glance at the Japanese man. I notice he's not drinking. I feel I'm getting lost between the tequila and sake. I am losing track of time, also my consciousness. I don't remember when I decided to go home with this stranger. I don't know how I could have decided anything in this state, but here I am, sitting in a cab next to this man I just met. As we arrive at his flat, I'm already starting to fall asleep. Where is my friend? Where is Norman? We enter the man's house. All I want to do is sleep. He guides me to his room. I fall on his bed like a sack of potatoes. I have lapses of consciousness. I barely realize that he's on top of me. I pass out. I wake up disorientated. The man is lying so close to me. I am confused. I can't remember much. I'm suddenly taking a warm shower with him. I cannot even look at him. What the fuck am I doing? I feel guilty. Why did I drink so much? The man asks me to stay and watch a movie. I accept, but can't focus. I don't even know what we're watching. My mind is blank. Something doesn't feel right. I blame myself. I feel weak. I feel unable to leave his flat, as if the control over my body is his, not mine. I try to excuse him. I convince myself it was a fun night. He takes the initiative and proposes to get some onigiri, Japanese rice balls. We put on our jackets and boots, and there we are walking in the narrow street surrounding the metro station. It is snowing. Everything seems to happen so slowly. It is the longest 300 meters I ever walked. I feel like running, but my body is not responding. I can't stop thinking that I am walking by the side of the man who did whatever he wanted to my body while I was unconscious. I don't even know what he did to me, but still I am justifying him and blaming myself. What is the message that society has given me so that there is permissiveness for these things to happen? Why does he feel like the owner of my body if I am unconscious? It is as if it was assumed by both sides that if a woman is unconscious and there is alcohol involved, it is not that serious to touch her while she's passed out. As we enter the store, we grab some fresh onigiris with mayo and tuna. We say goodbye to each other and nothing more. I take my train back home. As the days pass, I start to worry. I'm sitting on my tiny bed in my tiny Japanese room, trying to sleep, but I can't. Did he use protection? Could I possibly be pregnant? I am scared, alone in a country where I can barely speak the language, and I cannot find an English-speaking gynecologist. And in a country where if I was pregnant, whether I can have an abortion or not is decided by a doctor, not by me. Again, someone else will have the control over my body, not me. Why am I worrying this much? I try to convince myself this isn't a big deal. I say to myself, this is actually a fun story. I went out in Tokyo and ended up having a night one stand. It's okay. Somehow I force myself to stop thinking about it. 5 years pass. I am back in Mexico, presenting my thesis on sexual and reproductive rights of women in migration. I read, there is no such thing as sex without consent. Sex without consent is rape. This is the moment when I finally tell myself the truth. I've been an immigrant, and I've also experienced sex without consent. I was raped. Even though this is a painful truth to be confronted with, I can finally live my abuse in the first person. I finally realize my body belongs to me. I can write about it. I can say it out loud. Now my thesis is the foundation of a manual created for immigrant women in Mexico. It provides information about where to go if you've been raped or sexually abused, where to get psychological help, where to denounce their aggressor, and where to receive reproductive medical care. Reproductive justice is a human right, and everyone must assume it. It's become my mission to make sure the next generation of girls know that the control of their body is theirs and no one else's.